Welcome back to A Talk with the County Manager. I'm Carol Bowden, Director of Public Affairs. And of course, this is Craig Honeycutt, our County Manager. And Craig, it's hot.
It's hot.
I'm going to go ahead and talk about it because it's been hot, it's still hot, it's going to be hot.
It's hotter than blue blazes. So
I do want to bring that up though because we have a lot of employees that work outside. Some are in and out and some getting in their cars where it's already baking to about 200 degrees. We want to talk a little bit about safety for just a moment. That's important.
it is. And we're very concerned about not only our citizens but also our employees and making sure that they're hydrated and making sure that they're not overexerting themselves, especially during this time. So and I think Public Affairs has done a wonderful job about sending out notices and making sure that our employees are aware. We're doing a lot of work with our occupational health nurse. So we really do appreciate what Public Affairs is doing and also what Michelle is doing as well.
I tell you, nobody should take it lightly because it doesn't take long for heat exhaustion to set in. People aren't necessarily aware of what that means, but you can go from heat exhaustion to heat stroke in just a matter of moments. So do take it seriously. Heat indexes of, I believe yesterday we saw one of about 110. This is going to continue. So people are going to see this and eventually we'll get a little bit of a reprieve, but summer's still got a long ways to go before we see some fall.
We really do.
Want to talk about things that we just went over with our last commissioner meeting, and there was a lot going on. We'd taken a break over the July 4th holiday, and so that piled things on for our last meeting.
I know sometimes it's much easier just to meet during the holiday than it is to, because our board is really, really busy.
Yeah, they are.
And we are really doing a lot of things, and there's a lot of projects, and there's a lot of presentations, and a lot of things we really want the board to be aware of, but also our citizens. So we really did have a very, very full agenda.
Oh, we did, but there were a lot of good things. Want to talk about the Purple Heart Banquet because that's coming up, and you did a proclamation. I think Vice Chairman Pate actually read that, and he's been very involved with the Purple Heart Banquet for a number of years since it began.
Right. We are hosting at the Maxwell Center on August 3rd the annual Purple Heart Banquet, and you're exactly right. My couple of years that I've been here in Wayne County, that is probably one of the most impressive events that I've been to as part of my career, because we really do value and appreciate our military, and especially those that have been injured in war, protecting us. So, but we are hosting it. The county has helped supporting the event through the Maxwell Center, and last year's event was incredible, and appreciate the work that our staff has done also getting ready for it. But we're excited that we're allowed to host it again, and I look forward to it.
Well, and the public is invited to purchase tickets, and we hope that they will because, again, it's August 3rd. Being able to honor these men and women, there are some women, I do believe, I'm not sure here in Wayne County, but certainly across the nation, but to be able to honor those who have sacrificed so much, it's a great event. So.
Well, and also I think it's incredible what the city and the county does also with the joint proclamations that we sign and that we give to those recipients that are there and that we have notification of who are Purple Heart winners.
Yeah.
So we can recognize them individually as well and for their contributions. And again,
and let them know they're not forgotten.
They're not forgotten. And that's really one of the most interesting and nice things about Wayne County is we truly are a military community.
Absolutely.
Not just Air Force, but we encompass, we're working on the send-off for the National Guard as well. So we really are a very military loving and proud community, and that's one of the greatest things about working here.
Yeah, it is. I have to agree with you. Let's move on, and I want to talk about one presentation that was done involving the HMGP. Am I saying that?
Right.
There's way too many letters to remember, but the HMGP presentation that Dave Harris did, and what I have to give a shout out to Dave because he's just one of the most phenomenal administrators. This man knows what goes on with hazard mitigation, which is what that the beginning of that acronym stands for, and he's still working on Matthew
Right,
stuff, and
right.
we're almost a year since Florence. So
Right.
talk about that for just a moment.
Well, and we're finally getting to the point, and through all the attorneys and through the state and through all the hoops that you have to jump through for the buyout,
Yep.
we're finally at the point where we're making offers. And again, I know it's been a slow process, and we have had a lot of citizens that have been very frustrated, and we've been frustrated as well. However, it's like you said, we are very lucky and blessed to have Dave Harris here.
Absolutely.
He's local, but across the state, he is recognized as one of the best CDBG grant administrators, and we could not be more pleased and happy with the job that he does, because he really is fighting hard for those residents to make sure that they're getting every dollar that they really do deserve. Again,
Yeah.
we have very specific guidelines, and we have to follow the federal guidelines with respect to the buyout program. However, we're working really hard for the citizens to make sure that they're getting everything that they deserve. And I know it's been slow, but they have really kicked it in high gear. And I think
Yeah.
even Dave said at our meeting Tuesday that we had 2 closings Tuesday morning while the meeting was occurred. So
That's
it's
great.
an ongoing process, and hopefully we're about to wrap it up, at least on the Matthew side.
That's fantastic, and people need to understand the slowdown was not on our end.
It wasn't, and I know there's a lot of frustration, but
Right.
we have felt the frustration, we've heard the frustration, but again, I have the confidence, and I think the board has the confidence in Dave Harris that he was doing everything that he could do to make sure that we were getting the money back to our citizens as quickly as possible.
Absolutely. And talking about slow moving, sometimes that can happen with CIP or capital improvement projects, but we've got some that are really moving forward now, and they're exciting.
I've been here 2.5 years, and it's nice to see like our 911 project. Groundbreaking has occurred. We're clearing trees now, so we should see really a lot of construction going on fairly soon. The shell building that we're working out
Yeah.
at Park East, we've
Finally.
had some. Finally, that's been a project that's been 2 years in the making. We've had some hold up on some wetlands issue, and that was a big drag. However, Jackson Builders is really doing a good job. A lot of the site work has been done, and we should be seeing walls go up on that 50,000 square foot building in the next week or so.
And let's talk about why it's a 50,000 square foot building, and to some people being built for no reason. That was a big reason.
There's a huge reason, and what we need in the county is you need product. If you want people to come and to develop and invest in Wayne County, a lot of people want something that they can move into. And what we did, and what's been done in the past, is you build just a shell building. We don't finish it out. We don't put anything other than just really a warehouse with the 35-foot clearance on the height. So that way, if somebody says, hey, I'm ready to move, I'm ready to build, that it'll only take them 3 months maybe to finish it off,
Right.
and that they can move in. If they were starting from scratch and had to build a 50,000 square foot building, well, you got to get your permits. You got to find the property. You got to get the land graded. You got to find a contractor. You got to get an architect. You've got to do all those steps. And the thought process with a shell building is we've already got that resolved for you. We've got parking. We've got water and sewer. We've got all these issues resolved up front.
Right.
Only thing that we need for you to do is to come in, finish it off to your specifications. It is your building, and you can move in within 3 months.
Right, and it saves, if you've got a major investor coming into the county, it might save them 2 years
You're
and a lot of heartache. So.
Well, and time is money, especially for industry. So
Right.
when they make a decision that they want to move somewhere, they want to do it right then and right now. So they want things done yesterday.
Exactly.
So,
Or they'll move somewhere else
they'll
where
go
it's available.
where it is available. And again,
Yep.
if you look at the product in Wayne County, we didn't have the product to offer these companies to even come look. So we've been using the Shell building on a lot of our marketing with WCDA. Mark Pope is really doing a phenomenal job with respect to what he's doing and his connections. So we've got a lot of different options that we're looking at, but it's a great location, and we're excited that now hopefully our permitting issues are behind us, and we can just move straight ahead and get this done fairly quick.
Absolutely. And Mark Pope, just phenomenal. And one thing that's showing growth, and we actually, the commissioners voted on 3 of these projects, but subdivisions, final plats for those. And I think the minimum number of houses in one of them was in the 20s.
Right.
And then the 40s.
Right.
So when you look at that kind of growth within your residential aspect of the county, that says a lot for what's going on around the county industry-wide.
We really are. And if you look at our unemployment rate is right now a little bit below even the state average. So
That's incredible.
we're really moving forward, but you're exactly right about the residential growth that we're having in the northeast part of the county, northwest part of the county, that it really is keeping our planning department very, very busy.
That's a good thing.
It is a great thing, but we're excited as well, and we're bringing some good problems as well. You know, we're working with the school system on their redistricting, so we want to make sure that we're utilizing all of the existing classrooms that are available to us. So it's kind of a good problem to have.
It is, and we've talked a lot about growth and all the positive things. I want to talk about one thing I think is a positive, and certainly the commissioners and our staff do, but people may look at it and be a little bit confused. Let's talk about WayneNet and the change that was made during the meeting, what that means going forward for the citizens.
Well, what we're thinking and the thought process is that you should not, if you use WayneNet as a service during the day, Monday through Saturday, you should not see any change. But at night, we have done a lot of transfers from Wayne UNC to Rex, to Chapel Hill, to Vidant. Mm-hmm. And that really is taxing upon not only the WayneNet staff, but also our EMS staff. So sometimes we have had to take units out of service to provide that service. So what we want to do is make sure that our EMS units are here available for our citizens. So by using a franchise that can carry their patients at UNC Wayne to other hospitals will really help us out in the long run by making sure that we're keeping all of our units here in the county.
Right, and by our units, you mean our EMS staff.
Our EMS staff,
who are trying to respond to emergencies versus being utilized as a taxi service, so to speak.
Right.
A medical taxi service.
To other agencies and or other hospitals. But yes, we're excited. We think it'll provide a better service also for WayneNet, but also making sure we're providing a better service for EMS as well.
Exactly, and we have another EMS station about 30 days out.
About 30 days out. It is the Wilson EMS station on Miller's Chapel. We had some property donated to us, and so it by the Wilson family.
That's going to be awesome.
So we're excited, but you're right. We're about 30, 45 days out. And if you know where McCall's is, it's right across the street.
Exactly.
So
you can't miss it.
Can't miss it.
Well, I think that covers most of what we did. There was a lot going on, but those are the things that should really interest our citizens. Is there anything else that you can think of right now, Craig?
We're just excited. There's a lot of projects going on in the county and a lot of changes that are occurring, especially in emergency services and with the new substations and with 911, our new 911 centers. So we're really doing those core functions. And I will say this is a great thing about our board. We're focused really on the core functions of what county government's supposed to do. and that's provide for the health, safety, and welfare of our citizens. And I'm excited about these new projects that will really enhance those core functions of what we do.
That's a great way to end it. So thank you very much, Craig. And that does it for a talk with the county manager. We'll see you next month.